All right. Next question. Now we're moving on to the Twitter and Facebook questions. This one is from Joe Nah. Nah, his name is Joe Nah, I think. He says, Phil, what did Final Fantasy lose between episodes 10 and 13? What has Square lost most in that time span? Quite honestly, the answer is Square focused too much on style and substance and flair and art design, and they lost focus on the two reasons why people loved Final Fantasy to begin with. Really complex but addicting gameplay that was solid and fun, and a great cast of characters in a great story, okay? Final Fantasy X is probably the last in the Final Fantasy series where there was a story where, yeah, you could get to like certain characters. Yes, the artwork was good, but the gameplay was great as well. It was kind of the game that started to lose its way a little bit with the convolutedness of the plot and, of course, the ridiculous American voice acting. Ha, 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 and everyone's laughing. It makes no sense. You know, it has its moments of fault, but it also still captures that classic Final Fantasy vibe. Final Fantasy XI was an MMO, had nothing to do with Final Fantasy, didn't have that vibe at all. Final Fantasy XII felt like a hybrid between an MMO and a Final Fantasy game, where you'll lose the charm of the Final Fantasy universe. Final Fantasy XIII was all about flashiness, FMVs, the graphics, and the gameplay suffered, and the plot was god-awful, and the characters were insufferable. Hope and Vanille, you want to fucking strangle them the second you first fucking meet them in the games. So that's where they went wrong. If they could have an iconic story with characters that are interesting, diverse, unique, and that you can associate with, and have a story that drives it, and then go back to gameplay that's addicting and complex and fun and want you to keep playing, they could get their audience back. I don't know if they're going to do that. Not with the people that they have in charge, anyway.